Today was supposed to be the happiest day of the year, opening day 2020. Tomorrow, we were going to make the first MLB recap of the year, but instead, the virus that is going around the world, make sure you guys stay inside, wash your hands, do all that good stuff. It stole both opening day and MLB recaps from us, and I'm not okay with that. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep today positive. We're going to have a very happy, baseball-filled day. We're going to talk about the greatest performances in the history of opening day, whether it's KERSHAW or someone like Raul Mondesi, someone you might have not heard a lot about. We're going to talk about every single great performance. There's probably about 10 to 11 of them, so we're not going to go in order of first to last or anything like that. We're just going to talk some baseball, have some fun. Make sure you guys share this with your friends, with your family, because again, it's opening day, so let's talk about it. I remember this as if it happened yesterday. I don't know why. It's just one of those memories that is just imprinted into your head. I was watching this because for whatever reason, when I was a kid, I really liked watching prime Kershaw. Now, you can say that Kershaw is not the best in the postseason, or at this age, he's not the best pitcher in baseball anymore. Fine, that's an argument that you can have. But back in 2013, there was no debate. He was the best pitcher that we might have ever seen in Major League Baseball history. And on 2013 opening day, he did this: 9 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and he had 7 strikeouts. So he had a really good day on the mound. But that's not the best part, is he also helped his own cause by hitting a home run. So he shut them out and hit a home run. So let's say that they didn't score 4 runs like they did. It was a score of 4-0. They still would have won the game because Kershaw put the entire squad on his back. So I can remember this as if it happened yesterday. 2013 opening day, Kershaw, he stole the show.
And a high fly ball to center. Pagan going back. It's over his head. It's over the fence.
Here's an absolutely crazy stat line. Raul Mondesi, the father of Alberto Mondesi, he's a star second baseman, or maybe he's on his way to being a star because he didn't really have the best season last year. He's the father of him. In 1999 for the Dodgers, so we have back-to-back Dodger moments. Raul Mondesi went 4 for 5 with 2 home runs, a walk, and 6 RBIs. So it's not that he just had 2 home runs. They were big time as well. So the Dodgers, they trailed 6-3 going into the bottom of the 9th. And what did he do? Mondesi hit a game-tying 3-run home run, and then 2 innings later with 2 outs and a runner on base, he went deep again. So he had a game-tying home run in the 9th inning, and then he had a walk-off home run. So 5 RBIs on 2 swings of the bat. He had a walk. He had another base hit somewhere in there as the Dodgers went 8-6 over the Diamondbacks. So again, this was the 1999 Dodgers, and then we have the 2013 Dodgers. So yeah, the Dodgers are kind of like the stars of the opening day so far. We've talked about pitching and we've talked about hitting. Let's go back to yet another stellar performance. You guys see what I did there? I kind of rhymed a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up. But Bob Feller back in 1940 from my favorite team, the Cleveland Indians. You guys can see my hat right down here. That's my little Indians hat, but people said I was wearing it too much. So we're going with the Pirates hat today to match the Sandlot jersey because again, I'm full baseball mode today. But in 1940, pitching for the Indians, Bob Feller, they beat the White Sox by a score of 1-0. So you know that Bob Feller threw a great game. He also no-hit them. He went 9 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs. He had a final stat line with 8 strikeouts. He was also known as Rabid Robert. If you guys don't know, Bob is short for Robert. But he was called that because sometimes he could be a little bit wild. So while he did win the game and have a no-hitter, he also had 5 walks. So Bob Feller, one of the hardest throwing pitchers in Major League Baseball history. I mean, this guy, he almost lost it because there was a few errors, and eventually he was able to get an inning strikeout. I think it was in the 2nd inning. I think the bases were loaded. 2nd inning, he's able to get the final out via K. But just, I mean, come on. This might have been, if we were going by ranking, this might have been the number 1. Because when you throw a no-hitter, that is special. But then again, Raul Mondesi with the game-tying and then walk-off home run. You have Kershaw with a shutout and a home run. That's pretty big time. So let me know so far, guys, between the 3, what has been your number 1 moment? Coming up next, we have a name that I'm pretty sure all of you guys are familiar with. He's a Dodgers player, but for opening day in 1986, he was a member of the Detroit Tigers, his first team. We're talking about Kirk Gibson. Yes, the guy that pretty much hit a walk-off home run off Dennis Eckersley with the broken leg. But in 1986 to the Tigers, Kirk Gibson went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBI. So in the 5th inning, he hit a home run to give the Tigers the lead. But eventually the Red Sox, they were able to make a comeback and they took the lead back. But then we all know what happens because the Tigers won by a score of 6-5. What did Kirk Gibson do? He hit yet hit another home run, a 2-run shot in the 7th off a guy named Sammy Stewart, gave the Tigers the lead. They did not look back. Honestly, Kirk Gibson, one of the most clutch players in baseball history, and I'm pretty sure that we all know that because that clip has been played 1,000 times of him pumping his fist. Gotta love Kirk Gibson. We're gonna stick with offense real quick before we start talking about Bob Gibson. I'm looking at a stat line right now. Wow, Bob Gibson was so good back in his day. But right now, we're gonna bring up a player that has done something only 4 times in opening day history, but I really think that Dmitri Young really stole the show in 2005 for the Tigers. So we have back-to-back Tigers clips. He went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. So they pretty much destroyed the Royals. It was a score of 11-2. But I really wanted to show this one because I thought Dmitri Young was going to be something special. Isn't he the brother of Delman Young? I feel like maybe I could be right, I could be wrong, but Dmitri Young, 3 home runs back in 2005 on opening day. Only 4 players have done that in Major League Baseball history. We have George Bell, Tuffy Rhodes, and then Matt Davidson. He did that as recently as 2018. So if you missed the 2018 Matt Davidson game, I got you.
Matt Davidson launches a ball on 2-1. Matt Davidson lashes another one down the left field side. And boy, Matt Davidson.
Bob Gibson in 1967 on opening day absolutely owned the San Francisco Giants. He pretty much became their dad that day. The Cardinals won by a score of 6-0. But just like the Clayton Kershaw game, if they scored 1 run, it would have been enough because he went 9 innings, so he pitched a complete game. He only gave up 5 hits. He did not allow any runs, did not walk anyone, and he struck out 13 hitters. Now, mind you, in this Giants lineup, there was Willie Mays and Willie McCovey. When you're striking out that many hitters and shutting out a lineup that had Mays and Willie McCovey, or McCovey, however you say it, I'm going to get comments in the comment section down below. That is elite, and I wish I could have seen Bob Gibson pitch. Can we please create a time machine? I really need to go back and watch Jackie and Bob Gibson and Babe Ruth and all of these players do their things. Like, I'm upset that I was born in 96. I missed out on so much good baseball. Now, here's a player you guys might have never heard of before. Jim Presley. He was a third baseman on the 1986 Mariners. So on the 1986 opening day for Seattle, he pretty much stole the show. He won the game, pretty much Clayton Kershaw and Bob Gibson style, but within the batter's box. He went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, but had 6 RBIs, and the Mariners won by a score of 8-4. So they're not winning this ball game without Jim Presley. Second player in Major League Baseball history. So it's only happened twice to have a walk-off grand slam on opening day. I cannot imagine the excitement I would have felt as a teammate. I would have been so happy for my guy Jim, and even as Jim, you just hit a walk-off grand slam, Bryce Harper style, on opening day. So yeah, if you've never seen this before, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know that this guy existed until making this video. So we're learning, we're talking baseball. I'm having a great time right now. So thank you guys for watching, but we're not done yet. Don't you go anywhere. Walter frickin' Johnson, widely considered as one of the best, if not the best pitcher, or at least most dominant pitcher in the history of our beautiful game. In 1926, now a lot of people say, oh, it was 1926, hitters were not that great. They were drinking beer and playing drunk and eating hot dogs. That's kind of the excuse that people give Babe Ruth for why he was so good and why his stats were so inflated, but get that bias out of your head. This stat line is ridiculous. In 1926, on opening day, he beat the Athletics with 15 innings pitched, only allowed 6 hits, 0 runs. He did walk 3 hitters, but let's face it, he pitched 15 innings, so you're going to walk a few guys in that, and he had 9 strikeouts. So, I mean, come on, man. 15 innings, you needed this guy because they weren't scoring any runs. It was a 1-0 ball game, so it was tied up until the 15th. I think there was a walk-off hit in the 15th by a guy named Joe Harris. So yeah, I cannot believe that sometime, considering I think he holds the record for most shutouts in baseball history with like 110 shutouts. He did kind of benefit from the era, but nonetheless, 15 innings pitched opening day, you got to put it on the list. Did you guys know that Pete Rose has the all-time record for most hits on opening day? He has 31 opening day hits, and in 1974, he probably had his best game on the first day of baseball. He was 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, a walk, 3 runs, and an RBI. And really the one thing that I could say is just, it's Pete Rose in a nutshell. This guy played harder than anyone that you can ever remember. Him, Grady Sizemore, all of these guys just played until their bodies just gave out. He scored the game-winning run all the way from second base. There was a wild pitch, so the pitcher threw it, the catcher was not able to field it, it went to the backstop, and he scored from second base. So Charlie Hustle, he is showing the ultimate hustle play, and Again, I wish I could have seen him play live. Luckily, we have some highlights so we can see how good he was at his peak and how much effort and passion he had for the game. And I think that pretty much does it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to rank these moments or performances in the comment section down below, please go ahead and do so. Let me know if I missed anything. Maybe there was a performance that you remember, but I don't. So please let me know. Thank you guys for watching again. Remember to subscribe because we're on the road to 200K before opening day, whenever that happens. But yeah, it really sucks that it got pushed back because of the virus that's going around. But baseball will be back. I can promise that.